Chapter 4, An Even Eight. As the sun set, to give himself more confidence, he remembered the time, in the tavern at Casablanca, when he had played the hand game with the great Negro from Cienfuegos, who was the strongest man on the docks. They had gone one day and one night, with their elbows on a chalk line on the table. Each one was trying to force the other's hand down onto the table. They changed the referee every 4 hours so that the referees could sleep. The odds would change back and forth all night. Once the Negro had the old man, who was not an old man then, but was Santiago el Campeón, nearly 3 inches off balance. But the old man had raised his hand again. He was sure then that he had the Negro, who was a fine man and a great athlete, beaten, and at daylight he had forced the hand of the Negro down and down until it rested on the table. The match had started on a Sunday morning and ended on a Monday morning. For a long time everyone had called him the champion. After that he had a few matches, and then no more. He decided that he could beat anyone if he wanted to badly enough, and he decided that it was bad for his right hand for fishing. Just before it was dark as they passed a great island of sargasso weed, his small line was taken by a dolphin. He saw it first when it jumped in the air, bending and flapping wildly. When it was at the stern, the old man leaned over and lifted the burnished gold fish with its purple spots over the stem. Jaws were working convulsively in quick bites against the hook. It pounded the bottom of the skiff with its long, flat body, its tail and its head until he clubbed it. Then it shivered and was still. The old man watched the sun go into the ocean and the slant of the big cord. "He hasn't changed at all," he said. But watching the movement of the water against his hand, he noted that it was a bit slower. "I'll lash the 2 oars together across the stern and that will slow him in the night," he said. "He's good for the night, and so am I. I'm learning how to do it," he thought. "This part of it anyway. Then too, remember he hasn't eaten since he took the bait, and he is huge and needs much food. I have eaten the whole tuna. Tomorrow I will eat the dolphin." "How do you feel, fish?" he asked, aloud. "I feel good, and my left hand is better, and I have food for a night and a day. Pull the boat, fish." He did not truly feel good because the pain from the cord across his back had almost passed pain and gone into a dullness that worried him. "But I have had worse things than that," he thought. "My hand is only cut a little, and the cramp is gone from the other. My legs are all right." It was dark now as it becomes dark. Quickly after the sun sets in, September. The first stars were out. He did not know the name of Rigel, but he saw it and knew that soon they would all be out, and he would have all his distant friends. "The fish is my friend too," he said, aloud. "I have never seen or heard of such a fish, but I must kill him. I am glad we do not have to try to kill the stars." Then he was sorry for the great fish that had nothing to eat, and his determination to kill him never relaxed in his sorrow for him. How many people will he feed, he thought, but are they worthy to eat him? No, of course not. There is no one worthy of eating a fish with such great dignity. The old man rested for what he believed to be 2 hours. The moon did not rise until late now, and he had no way of judging the time. He was still bearing the pull of the fish across his shoulders. "But you have not slept yet, old man. It is half a day and a night, and now another day, and you have not slept," he said aloud. "I must devise a way so that you sleep a little if he is quiet and steady. If you do not sleep, you might become unclear in the head." I could go without sleeping, he told himself, but it would be too dangerous. He worked his way back to the stern. The stars were bright now, and he saw the dolphin clearly, and he pushed the blade of his knife into his head and pulled him out from under the stern. The dolphin was cold and gray-white, now in the starlight, and the old man skinned one side of him while he held his right foot on the fish's head. Then he skinned the other side and cut fillets He leaned over the side and put his hand in the water. The flow of the water against it was less strong. He is tired or he is resting. Now let me eat this dolphin and get some rest and a little sleep. Under the stars he ate half of one of the dolphin fillets. What an excellent fish dolphin is to eat. Cooked, he said. And what a miserable fish raw. I will never go in a boat again without salt or limes. The sky was clouding over to the east, and one after another the stars he knew were gone. It looked now as though he were moving into a great canyon of clouds and the wind had dropped. There will be bad weather in 3 or 4 days, he said, but not tonight or tomorrow. Right now to get some. Sleep, old man, while the fish is calm and steady. The moon had been up for a long time, but he slept on, and the fish pulled on steadily, and the boat moved into the tunnel of clouds. He woke with the jerk of his right fist, coming up against his face and the line burning out through his right hand. He could not feel the line with his left hand, but he braked all he could with his right, and the line rushed out. Just then the fish jumped, making a great bursting of the ocean, and then a heavy fall. Then he jumped again and again, and the boat was going fast, although line was still racing out, and the old man was raising the strain too. The breaking point. He had been pulled down tight onto the bow, and his face was in the cut slice of dolphin, and he could not move. This is what we waited for, he thought. So now let us take it. Make him pay for the line. Make him pay for it. He could not see the fish's jumps, but only heard the breaking of the ocean and the heavy splash as he fell. The speed of the line was cutting his hands badly, but he had always known this would happen. If the boy were here, he would wet the coils of line, he thought. Yes, if the boy were here. The line went out, but it was slowing now, and he was making the fish earn each inch of it. Now he got his head up from the wood and out of the slice of fish that his cheek had crushed. He was on his knees, and then he rose to his feet. He was giving line, but more slowly all the time. I wonder what started him so suddenly. Could it have been hunger that made him desperate, or was he frightened by something in the night? Maybe he suddenly felt fear. But he was such a calm, strong fish, and he seemed so fearless and so confident. It is strange. You better be fearless and confident yourself, old man, he said. The old man held him with his left hand and stooped down and scooped up water in his right hand to get the crushed dolphin flesh off his face. He was afraid that it might nauseate him and cause him to vomit and lose his strength. He washed his right hand in the water and then let it stay in the salt water while he watched the first light come before the sunrise. He's headed almost east, he thought. That means he is tired and going with the current. Soon he will have to circle. Then our true work begins. After he judged that his right hand had been in the water long enough, he took it out and looked at it. It is not bad, he said, and pain does not matter to a man. He took hold of the line carefully so that it did not fit into any of the fresh line cuts, and shifted his weight so that he could put his left hand into the sea on the other side of the skiff. You did not do so badly for something worthless, he said to his left hand. But there was a moment when I could not find you. Why was I not born with 2 good hands, he thought. Perhaps it was my fault in not training the left one properly, but God knows he had enough chances to lent. He did not do so badly in the night, though, and he has cramped only once. If he cramps again, let the line cut him off. The sun was rising for the 3rd time since he had got out to sea, when the fish started to circle. It is a very big circle, he said, but he is circling. I must hold all I can, he thought. The strain will shorten his circle each lime. Perhaps in an hour I will see him. Now I must convince him, and then I must kill him. But the fish kept on, circling slowly, and the old man was wet with sweat and tired deep into his bones 2 hours later. But the circles were much shorter now, and from the way the line slanted, He could tell the fish had risen steadily while he swam. For an hour the old man had been seeing black spots before his eyes, and the sweat salted his eyes and salted the cut under his eye and on his forehead. He was not afraid of the black spots. Twice, though, he had felt faint and dizzy, and that had worried him. "I cannot fail and die on a fish like this," he said. "Now that I have him, coming so beautifully, God help me, endure. I'll say 100 Our Fathers and 100 Hail Marys, but I cannot say them now. Consider them said," he thought. "I'll say them later." Just then he felt a sudden banging and jerking on the line he held with his 2 hands. It was sharp and heavy. He is hitting the wire with his sword, he thought. He may jump, and I would rather he circled now. The jumps were necessary for him to take air, but after that each jump can widen the 8 opening of the hook wound, and he can throw the hook. "Don't jump, fish," he said. "Don't jump." The fish hit the wire several times more, and each time the old man gave up a little line. After a while the fish stopped beating at the wire and started circling slowly again. The old man was gaining line steadily now, but he felt faint again. He lifted some seawater with his left hand and put it on his head. Then he put more on and rubbed the back of his neck. "I have no cramps," Ho said. "He'll go up soon and I can last. You have to last. Don't even speak of it." He kneeled against the bow and for a moment slipped the line over his back again. "I'll rest now while he circles and then stand up and work on him when he comes in," he decided. "I'm more tired than I have ever been," he thought, "and now the trade wind is rising, but that will be good to take him in with." The sea had risen considerably, but it was a fair weather breeze and he had to have it to get home. "I'll just steer south and west," he said. A man is never lost at sea, and it is a long island. It was on the 3rd turn that he saw the fish for the first time. He saw him first as a dark shadow that took so long to pass under the boat that he could not believe its length. "No," he said, "he can't be that big." But he was that big, and at the end of this circle he came to the surface only 30 yards away, and the man saw his tail out of the water. It was higher than a big scythe blade and a very pale lavender above the dark blue water. As the fish swam just below the surface, the old man could see his huge gaunt bulk and purple stripes. His dorsal fin was down and his huge pectorals were not spread wide. Then the old man could see the fish's eye. The old man was sweating now, but from something else besides the sun. On each placid turn the fish made he was gaining line, and he was sure that in 2 turns he would have a chance to get the harpoon in. "But I must get him close, close, close," he thought. "I mustn't try for the head. I must get the heart." "Be calm and strong, old man," he said. The fish was coming in on his circle, now calm and beautiful with only his great tail moving. The old man pulled on him to bring him closer. For just a moment the fish turned a little on his side. Then he straightened himself and began another circle. "I moved him," the old man said. "I moved him then." He felt faint again, but he held on to the great fish with all his strength. "I moved him," he thought. "Maybe this time I can get him over." "Pull, hands," he thought. "Hold up, legs. Last for me, head, last for me." You never went. "This time I'll pull him over." But when he put forth all of his effort, the fish righted himself and swam away. "Fish," the old man said. "Fish, you are going to have to die anyway. Do you have to kill me too? That way nothing is accomplished," he thought. His mouth was too dry to speak, but he could not reach for the water now. "I must get him alongside this time," he thought. "I am not good for many more turns." "Yes, you are," he told himself. "You're good forever." On the next turn, he nearly had him, but again the fish righted himself and swam away slowly. "You are killing me, fish," the old man thought, "but you have a right to. Never have I seen a greater or more beautiful or a calmer or more noble thing than you, brother. Come on and kill me. I do not care who kills who. Now you are getting confused in the head, he thought. You must keep your head clear and know how to suffer like a man or a fish. Clear up, head, he said in a voice he could hardly hear. Clear up. He tried it once more and he felt himself going. When he turned the fish righted himself and swam off again, slowly with the great tail moving in the air. I'll try it again, the old man promised, although his hands were mushy now and he could only see well in flashes. Chapter 5. Shark Attack. He took all his pain and what was left of his strength and his long-gone pride, and he put it against the fish's agony. The fish came over onto his side and swam gently and started to pass the boat. The old man dropped the line and put his foot on it and lifted the harpoon as high as he could and drove it down with all his strength into the fish's side, just behind the great chest fin. He felt the iron go in, and he leaned on it and drove it further and then pushed all his weight after it. Then the fish came alive, with his death in him, and rose high out of the water, showing all his great length and width and all his power and his beauty. He seemed to hang in the air above the old man in the skiff. Then he fell into the water with a crash. The old man felt faint and sick, and he could not see well, but he cleared the harpoon line and let it run slowly through his raw hands, and when he could see, he saw the fish was on his back with his silver belly up. The shaft of the harpoon was projecting at an angle from the fish's shoulder, and the sea was red with the blood from his heart. The fish was silvery and still and floated with the waves. The old man laid his head on his hands. Keep my head clear, he said. I am a tired old man, but I have killed this fish which is my brother, and now I must do the slave work. Now I must prepare the rope to tie him alongside the skiff, he thought. This skiff will never hold him. He started to pull the fish in to have him alongside the skiff. I want to see him, he thought, and to touch and to feel him. He is my fortune, he thought, but that is not why I wish to feel him. He is my fortune, he thought, but that is not why I wish to feel him, I think. I felt his heart when I pushed on the harpoon the second time. Bring him in, now, and get the noose around his tail, and another around his middle to tie him to the skiff. Get to work, old man, he said. He took a very small drink of water. There is much slave work to do now that the fight is over. He looked up at the sky and then out to his fish. Come on, fish, he said. But the fish did not come. Instead, he lay there, and the old man pulled the skiff up to him. When the fish's head was against the bow, he could not believe his size. It was the only way to kill him, the old man said. He was feeling better, and his head was clear. He's over 1,500 pounds, he thought. Maybe much more. I think the great DiMaggio would be proud of me today. He fastened the fish to the bow, to the stem, and to the middle thwart. He was so big it was like lashing a much bigger skiff alongside. He could see the fish, and he had only to look at his hands and feel his back against the stem to know that this had truly happened and was not a dream. They were sailing together, lashed side by side, and the old man thought, let him bring me in if it pleases him. I am only better than him through trickery, and he meant me no harm. It was an hour before the first shark hit him. The shark had come up from deep down in the water as the dark cloud of blood had settled and dispersed in the mile-deep sea. He had come up so fast that he broke the surface of the blue water and was in the sun. Then he fell back into the sea and picked up the scent and started following the skiff and the fish. Sometimes he lost the scent, but he would pick it up again, and he swam fast and hard. He was a very big mako, shark built to swim as fast as the fastest fish in the sea, and everything about him was beautiful except his jaws. His back was as blue as a swordfish's, and his belly was silver, and his hide was smooth and handsome. Inside the closed double lip of his jaws, all of his 8 rows of teeth were slanted inwards. They were not the ordinary, pyramid-shaped teeth of most sharks. They were shaped like a man's fingers when they are curled like claws. They were nearly as long as the fingers of the old man, and they had razor-sharp, cutting edges on both sides. When the old man saw him coming, he knew that this was a shark that had no fear at all, and would do exactly what he wished. He prepared the harpoon and the rope, while he watched the shark come forward. The old man's head was clear and good now, and he was full of resolution, but he had little hope. It was too good to last, he thought. It might as well have been a dream. I cannot keep him from hitting me, but maybe I can get him. Dentuso, he thought. Bad luck to your mother. When the shark hit the fish, the old man saw his mouth open and his strange eyes. He heard the clicking sound of the teeth as he tore into the meat just above the tail. He rammed the harpoon down into the shark's head and into his brain. He hit it with his bloody hands, driving the harpoon with all his strength. He hit it without hope, but with resolution and complete malignancy. The shark swung over, and the old man saw his eye was not alive. The old man knew that he was dead, but the shark would not accept it. It plowed over the water as a speed boat does. Then he lay quietly for a little while and went down very slowly. He took about 40 pounds in my harpoon, the old man said. He did not like to look at the fish anymore, since he had been mutilated. When the fish had been hit, it was as though he himself were hit. It was too good to last, he thought. I wish it had been a dream now, and that I had never hooked the fish and was alone in bed on the newspapers. But man is not made for defeat, he said. A man can be destroyed, but not defeated. I am sorry that I killed the fish, though, he thought. Now the bad time is coming, and I do not even have the harpoon. Don't think, old man, he said aloud. Sail on and take it when it comes. He knew quite well the pattern of what could happen when he readied the inner part of the current. But there was nothing to be done now. Yes, there is, he said aloud. I can lash my knife to the butt of one of the oars. So he did that. Now I am still an old man, but I am not unarmed. He watched only the forward part of the fish, and some of his hope returned. It is silly not to hope, he thought. Besides, I believe it is a sin. Do not think about sin. I have no understanding of it, and I am not sure that I believe in it. Perhaps it was a sin to kill the fish. I suppose it was, though I did it to keep me alive and feed many people. But then, everything is a sin. Do not think about sin. You were born to be a fisherman. You did not kill the fish only to keep alive and to sell for food, he thought. You killed him for pride, and because you are a fisherman, you loved him when he was alive, and you loved him after. If you love him, it is not a sin to kill him, or is it more? But you enjoyed killing the dentuso, he thought. I killed him in self-defense, the old man said aloud, and I killed him well. Besides, he thought, everything kills everything else in some way. Fishing kills me exactly as it keeps me alive. The boy keeps me alive. I must not deceive myself too much. Chapter 6. The Final Battle. He had been sailing for 2 hours when he saw the first of the 2 sharks. Galanos, he said aloud. He took up the oar with the knife lashed to it. He lifted it as lightly as he could because his hands rebelled at the pain, and he watched the sharks come. They were hateful sharks, bad-smelling, scavengers as well as killers, and when they were hungry, they would bite at an oar or the rudder of a boat. Aye, the old man said. Galanos, come on, Galanos. They came. One turned and went out of sight under the skiff, and the old man could feel the skiff shake as he jerked and pulled on the fish. The other watched the old man with his yellow eyes and then came in fast to hit the fish where he had already been bitten. A line showed clearly on the top of his brown head and back where the brain joined the spinal cord, and the old man drove the knife on the oar into the brain, withdrew it, and drove it in again, into the shark's yellow cat-like eyes. The shark let go of the fish and slid down, swallowing what he had taken as he died. When he saw the other shark, he leaned over the side and punched him. The blow hurt his hands and his shoulder, but the shark came up fast with his head out, and the old man hit him squarely in the center of his flat-topped head. The old man withdrew the blade and punched the shark exactly in the same spot again. The old man stabbed him in his left eye, but the shark still hung there. "No," the old man said, and he drove the blade between the vertebrae and the brain, and he felt the cartilage break. "Go on, Galano. Slide down a mile deep. Go and see your friend. Or maybe it's your mother." The old man wiped the blade of his knife and laid down the oar. Then he brought the skiff onto her course. "They must have taken a quarter of him, and of the best meat," he said aloud. "I wish it were a dream and that I had never hooked him. I'm sorry about it, Fish. It makes everything wrong." He stopped, and he did not want to look at the fish now. "I shouldn't have gone out so far, Fish," he said. "Neither for you nor for me. I'm sorry, Fish. God knows how much that last one took," he continued. "But she's much lighter now." He did not want to think of the mutilated underside of the fish. He was a fish to keep a man all winter, he thought. Don't think of that. Just rest and try to get your hands in shape to defend what is left of him. The next shark that came was a single shovel nose. He came like a pig to the trough if a pig had a mouth so wide that you could put your head in it. The old man let him hit the fish and then drove the knife on the oar down into his brain. But Tire Shark jerked backwards as he rolled and the knife blade snapped. The old man did not even watch the big shark sinking slowly in the water. "I have the gaff now," he said, "but it will do no good. I have the 2 oars and the tiller and the short dub. Now they have beaten me," he thought. "I am too old to club sharks to death. But I will try it as long as I have the oars, and the short club, and the tiller." It was getting late in the afternoon, and he saw nothing but the sea and the sky. "You're tired, old man," he said. "You're tired inside." The sharks did not hit him again until just before sunset. He blocked the tiller and reached under the stern for the club. It was an oar handle from a broken oar. The 2 sharks closed together, and as he saw the one nearest him open his jaws and sink them into the silver side of the fish, he raised the club high and brought it down heavy on the top of the shark's broad head. He struck the shark once more hard across the point of the nose as he slid down from the fish. The other shark now came in again with his jaws wide. The old man could see pieces of the meat of the fish spilling, white from the corner of his jaws. He swung at him and hit only the head end. The shark looked at him and tore the meat loose. The old man swung the club down on him again. "Come on, Galano," the old man said. "Come in again." The shark came in, and the old man hit him as he shut his jaws. He hit him solidly in front as high up as he could raise the club. This time he felt the bone at the base of the brain, and he hit him again in the same place. The old man watched, but neither shark returned. He did not want to look at the fish. He knew that half of him had been destroyed. The sun had gone down while he had been fighting the sharks. "It will be dark soon," he said. "Then I should see the glow of Havana. If I am too far to the east, I will see the lights of one of the new beaches." He could not talk to the fish anymore, because the fish had been ruined too, badly. Then something came into his head. "Half fish," he said. "Fish that you were. I am sorry that went too far. Out. I ruined us both. But we have killed many sharks, you and I, and ruined many others. How many did you ever kill, old fish? You do not have that spear on your head for nothing." I have half of him, he thought. Maybe I'll have the luck too. Bring the forward half in. I should have. Some luck. No, he said. You violated your luck when you went too far. Outside. Don't be silly, he said aloud. You may have much luck yet. I'd like to buy some if there were any place. Asker'd sell it, he said. What could I buy it with? He asked himself. Could I buy it with a lost harpoon and a broken knife and 2 bad hands? You might, he said. You tried to buy it with 84 days at sea. They nearly sold it to you too. He saw the reflected glare of the lights of the city at what must have been around 10 o'clock at night. He steered inside of the glow, and he thought that now, soon, he must hit the edge of the stream. Now it is over, he thought. They will probably hit me again. But what can a man do against them in the dark, without a weapon? I hope I do not have to fight again, he thought. But by midnight he fought, and this time he knew the fight was useless. They came in a pack. He dubbed desperately at what he could only feel and hear, and he felt something seize the dub, and it was gone. He jerked the tiller free from the rudder and beat and chopped with it, holding it in both hands and driving it down again and again. One came finally against the head itself, and he knew that it was over. He swung the tiller across the shark's head. He swung it once and twice and again. The shark let go and rolled away. That was the last shark of the pack that came. There was nothing more for them to eat. The old man could hardly breathe now, and he felt a strange taste in his mouth. It was coppery and sweet, and he was afraid of it for a moment. He spat into the ocean and said, "Eat that, Galanos." He knew he was beaten now finally, and, without remedy, he put the sack around his shoulders and put the skiff on her course. He had no thoughts nor any feelings of any kind. He only noticed how lightly and how well the skiff sailed now that there was no great weight beside her. He could feel he was inside the current now, and he could see the lights of the beach along the shore. When he sailed into the little harbor, the lights of the terrace were out, and he knew everyone was in bed. He pulled the boat up, and then he stepped out and tied her to a rock. He took the mast out of its step and furled the sail and tied it. Then he put the mast on his shoulder and started to climb. It was then that he knew the depth of his tiredness. He stopped and looked back and saw the white, naked line of the fish's backbone and the dark mass of the head with the bill and all the nakedness in between. He started to climb again, and at the top, he fell and lay for some time with the mast across his shoulder. He tried to get up, but it was too difficult, and he sat there with the mast on his shoulder. Finally, he put the mast down and stood up. He picked the mast up and put it on his shoulder and started up the road. He had to sit down 5 times before he reached his shack. Inside the shack, he leaned the mast against the wall. In the dark, he found a water bottle and took a drink. Then, he lay down on the bed. He pulled the blanket over his body, and he slept face down on the newspapers with his arms out straight and the palms of his hands up. He was asleep when the boy looked in the door in the morning. The boy saw the old man's hands, and he started to cry. He went out very quietly to get some coffee, and all the way down the road he was crying. Many fishermen were around the skiff looking at what was lashed beside it, and one was in the water, his trousers rolled up, measuring the skeleton. The boy did not go down. He had been there before, and one of the fishermen was looking after the skiff for him. "How is he?" one of the fishermen shouted. "Sleeping," the boy called. He did not care that they saw him crying. Let no one disturb him. He was 18 feet from nose to tail. The fisherman who was measuring him called. "I believe it," the boy said. He went into the terrace and asked for a can of coffee, hot and with plenty of milk and sugar in it. "Anything more?" "No. Afterwards I will see what he can eat." What a fish it was, the proprietor said. There has never been such a fish. Tell him how sorry I am. Thanks, the boy said. The boy carried the hot can of coffee up to the old man's shack and sat by him until he woke. Don't sit up, the boy said. Drink this. He poured some of the coffee in a glass. The old man took it and drank it. They beat me, Manolin, he said. They truly beat me. He didn't beat you, not the fish. No, truly. It was afterwards. Pedrico is looking after the skiff and the gear. What do you want done with the head? Let Pedrico chop it up to use in fish, traps. And the spear? You keep it if you want it. I want it, the boy said. Now we must make our plans about the other things. Did they search for me? Of course, with Coast Guard and with planes. The ocean is very big, and a skiff is small and hard to see, the old man said. He noticed how pleasant it was to have someone to talk to instead of speaking, only to himself and to the sea. I missed you, he said. What did you catch? 1 the first day, 1 the second, and 2 the third. Very good. Now we can fish together again. No, I'm not lucky. I'm not lucky anymore. The hell with luck, the boy said. I'll bring the luck with me. What will your family say? I do not care. I caught 2 yesterday, but we will fish together. Now, for I still have much to learn. You, get your hands well, old man. I know how to care for them. In the night I spat something strange and felt something in my chest was broken. Get that well, too, the boy said. Lie down, old man. I will bring you your clean shirt and something to eat. Bring any of the papers of the time that I was gone, the old man said. You must get well fast, for there is much that I can learn and you can. Teach me everything. How much did you suffer? Plenty, the old man said. I'll bring the food and the papers, the boy said. Rest well, old man. I will. Bring something from the drugstore for your hands. As the boy went out the door and down the road, he was crying again. That afternoon there was a party of tourists at the terrace, and looking down in the water among the empty beer cans and dead barracudas, a woman saw a great long white spine with a huge tail at the end that lifted and swung with the tide. What's that? She asked a waiter, and pointed to the long backbone of the great fish that was now just garbage, waiting to go out with the tide. Tiburon, the waiter said. A shark. He wanted to explain what had happened. I didn't know sharks had such handsome, beautifully formed tails. I didn't either, her male companion said. Up the road in his shack, the old man was sleeping again. He was still sleeping on his face, and the boy was sitting by him watching him. The old man was dreaming about the lions. The end. Hope you have enjoyed the reading.